Now, I'm not justifying Vladimir Putin's war crimes. They are war crimes, and that's the problem. They're war crimes, and America has lost its moral authority to prosecute war crimes. I am saying that these are war crimes in Bucha and Kiev. I'm saying what's going on in Ukraine goes on during all wars, which is why you say and you do everything you can to stop war from taking place. And once it starts, you do everything you can to stop it, because in all war, women and children end up dead. The problem is too many Americans enjoy war. They like seeing it on their TV screen. Where is America's call for peace? I don't hear any officials calling for peace. They're nowhere to be found. Instead, White House press spokesperson Jen Psaki is very proud of how the war in Ukraine is going. She was on Fox News yesterday, very proud of America's support for the people of Ukraine.
It is also significant that the Ukrainians have essentially won the Battle of Kyiv.
Yes, we have won the Battle of Kiev. Kyiv, we've won. Look how happy she sounded and looked. Mission accomplished. We won the Battle of Kiev. That's what Jen Psaki, White House press spokesman, said on Fox yesterday. So I guess all the refugees can move back into Kiev. It's perfectly safe now. Jen Psaki says we've won the Battle of Kiev. And great. So come on back, refugees. It's safe. We won. And who gets the credit for this victory, Jen Psaki?
They've protected their city, and that is because of their bravery, their courage, but it is also because of the supplies, the military equipment, everything we've expedited, $1.7 billion worth from the United States, and the commitment and dedication of the American people.
Ah, the American people, the commitment and dedication of the American people. Take a victory lap, America. You did it. We did it. Let's throw ourselves a parade, because the Ukrainians just won the Battle of Kiev, and millions of Ukrainians will be flooding back into that nation's capital and getting on with their lives, because we, the American people, sent missiles to Ukraine, which is what we do best, sitting on our fat asses, lobbing missiles overseas. Sometimes we drop them on people. This time we gave those missiles to Ukrainians to drop on people. $1.7 billion in weapons that we gave the Ukrainians, the American people. We did it by giving them $1.7 billion in weapons. We did it, folks. We won the Battle of Kiev. Jen Psaki's previous job was with WestExec, the lobbying firm, whose motto is, and I'm not making this up, their motto is, we bring the situation room into the boardroom. And by situation room, they don't mean Wolf Blitzer. In other words, when the Pentagon and the president are deciding whom to bomb, WestExec makes sure they use your bombs. That's no joke. Blinken, our Secretary of State Blinken, is a lobbyist for Boeing, or was a lobbyist, well, still is, I guess, a lobbyist for Boeing, founding member of WestExec. Read The Intercept about WestExec. They represent many of the high-tech and defense contractors who profit off of war. 15 former WestExec employees are now circling the wagons inside the Biden administration, defending the defense industry, including, as I mentioned, one of the founding partners of WestExec, Anthony Blinken, who is our Secretary of State. Our top diplomat is a former lobbyist for weapons manufacturers. Wasn't the purpose of a Secretary of State to negotiate peace, make sure we get along with other countries? It doesn't feel like the Biden administration is looking for peace. I want peace. I don't want my country providing weapons to the Ukrainian people until we've exhausted diplomacy. I want to sit at the table and figure out what exactly it takes to get this fighting to stop now. Yes, Putin is a war criminal. Which brings me back to Austrian Chancellor Nehammer, who met with Putin today. Interesting thing, as I mentioned, about Austria. Austria, not a member of the shakedown racket called NATO. It's a protection racket, NATO. Austria, not a member of NATO. It is, however, a member of the European Union, and more importantly, Austria is a signatory to the International Criminal Court, which is why the Chancellor of Austria was able to meet with Putin and then go before the world and declare that war crimes are being committed and that, quote, all those who are responsible will be held to account. And that's, freighted language coming from Austria, since they are, in fact, a signatory to the International Criminal Court in The Hague. America is not, because we cover up our war crimes and we commit the war crimes that we're covering up.